Allen had, I believe, 13 and a half sacks the year before, and in 2 games, he had 0 pressures and 0 sacks going against Bakhtiari. And it was the end of Jared Allen after that. He got cut after that year. Couldn't get it past the Rook.
He came to Carolina and was a contributor in that 2015 Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, he was a rotational guy there, right?
Yeah, as we brought him. Well, actually, we brought him in, and I think who was it got injured that year? Oh no, it was Greg Hardy, maybe.
Was it
Greg Hardy got cut?
Was Charles Johnson there yet? I think he got hurt, didn't he?
And Charles Johnson, and Jared Allen. Then I think it was because we lost Greg Hardy because of all the drugs and the domestic violence issues.
Yeah. That's a downward spiral and a half right there.
We brought in that year. I'm telling you again, we had Jericho Kadri, who was like 40 at that time, who was a wide receiver.
I really didn't think he played anymore when you guys signed him.
Yeah, we had Charles Tillman, who was fantastic. He played.
Peanut. I love Peanut.
Yeah, and we had Jared Allen that year. We had a symphony of old dudes out there.
Tag guys. But yeah, on that with the weather, actually I want to add on to that. Do you think it's going to go ahead and affect some guys? Like Trey Turner's never played in the snow. He's never played in like that environment or the cold weather. Do you think maybe it has an effect? Because now you got Preston and Zadarius Smith. Zadarius has 8.5, Preston has 8 sacks. Do you think that they come in, especially Greg Little out still? I mean, I know you've got a guy that stepped up, but I mean, cold weather game, and plus you know Pettin's going to be throwing every single kind of look at you for blitzing and dropping people in coverage. So I just didn't know if you thought that may have an effect, because I know you guys have been giving up pressures, QB hits, sacks. So I'm wondering if that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the weather. Yeah, the weather is going to be a big deal for some people, I guess. But most importantly, it's going to be a big deal for Kyle Allen. Is right now we've got a guy who has now been named the starter of the team he's had some success. But look, Kyle Allen, who knows? Kyle Allen is 23 years old. He's 23 years old. He got benched in like his freshman year, and then he leaves college football early. Who knows? And that for me, the real question is not about how these other players respond to the cold. I think once they start hitting each other and running around and the adrenaline gets to them, they'll be all right. I think the real question continues to be with Kyle Allen. It doesn't matter if I think the cold will only exacerbate it, but it doesn't matter if it's cold or sunny as is can Kyle Allen play under adverse conditions? I'm not talking about the weather necessarily. What I'm talking about is that Kyle Allen has had success because the Panthers have gotten ahead and played ahead of the chains in those games that he's won. You know, is that he hasn't screwed it up, you know?
Yeah.
Dad gave the keys, he asked you to pull the car around and you didn't crash it. And Kyle Allen is that I don't know how Kyle Allen will continue to respond in adversity. And that is that if we're down 14 and it's freezing cold and the wind's blowing, that's the guy we need to know who's going to be the weather is going to be a problem for him. And I think another thing is when you know that's the case and maybe the elements are going to be problematic, you know, is that it's not conducive. Maybe Rodgers is aware of it. And like you're saying, he's accustomed to it. He can
played in it for over a decade. Yeah.
Right. Kyle Allen's not. And so I think that gives Green Bay a certain advantage there and ultimately what all teams are going to do against Carolina, and that is it's all about number 22. It's all about number 22 is let's shut down
CMC
and make Kyle Allen win this game. So, yeah, if the weather is going to be a problem, it's because our problem is that Kyle Allen is our quarterback. Well, and I don't mean to dog on him for that, but what I'm just saying is that you're asking a lot. You're hoping for so much. That's it. And so what we need Kyle Allen to do is be in a good position and not screw it up for us. And that shouldn't be a knock on him.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Even if he's still going to try and play at adverse conditions, he's still 5-1, man. Kyle Allen has proven he can play. I mean, yeah, he's had a couple games where he's had multiple interceptions, but he's still come out and gotten the W, which shows he can win the ugly games.
He's also 6 times in those 5 games. And like, you know what I mean? So yes, he is. You know, we're very blessed. We're very happy. Look, is that
no one saw how he was going to perform when Cam went down, and everyone was like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, when Cam we're going, my buddy and I that are on doing the podcast, we have these we bought half season tickets, and it's a drive for us. He's 3 hours, I'm 4 hours. It's a tough thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's a tough slog to go to a game for us. I got to go stay with friends. I got to try to get back to work on Monday. You know what I'm saying? It's a big
planning everything to the second. Yeah.
It's expensive, it's tiresome, and he said this, when Cam went down, we were like, oh crap, we got to do this like 5 times, and we got to spend all this money and this time. So yeah, we are so happy that Kyle Allen has won some games and done that, but I'm also realistic to know this, is that, look, he ain't no damn Aaron Rodgers. That's he ain't no Cam Newton.
That was actually going to be my next question on that. Is everybody in Green Bay's waiting for Davante Adams to come back? He did, and waiting for him to have a monstrous game. So with that, do you think I know Dante Jackson's probably going to match up on him, but I know he's probably going to get some other opportunities. If Bradbury's out, do you think Davante Adams might have a bigger game than people realize in this game because of trying to use Adams away from Dante Jackson? Or
oh God, I hope so. I just got him in a trade on fantasy.
That's a giant mismatch if you put Davante Adams on Dante Jackson. I think. Well, how tall is Davante Adams?
6'2", 6'3", I believe. I think he's 6'2.5", actually, right on the dot.
So I won't say a giant mismatch, but it is a mismatch, right? Is that Dante Jackson is a boom or bust type player. He's super fast, but that's not. I don't know if it's going to help under these conditions. I actually am going to flip this back to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You continue to say this as you say, look, is that all of a sudden our offense has changed now to where Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be this magnificent man. He needs to be magnificent when he needs to be, but we're trying to put a more balanced offense out there. It sounds like you guys are so live or die. Like, as I've never heard so many people, like, it's like, why is Davante Adams not got out 200 yards in this game? Do you guys think that you're trying to force it and need more of that than you need?
It's like exactly why they lost the game last week, because that whole 4-game win streak was about getting guys in matchups. Have you watched any of the games, Tony? Did you watch the game the week before? In fact,
who played that week? Who'd you play the week before?
Oh, the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I don't know if I watched that game.
No, it was Kansas City. No, it was Kansas City.
Oh, no, it was Kansas City. He had, 3 touchdowns in that game?
But my point is that there were several plays where both Adams or Jones and Williams were in the backfield. Jones has actually lined up in the slot, came on a jet sweep across, and then was coming back across the field in a double motion. None of that shit happened at all last week. It was all shotgun, back to the left, back to the right. He was in a chip block situation, released out, and they would just try to throw the ball to Davante. And if Davante, when he wasn't forcing it to there, he was chucking it down the field to Allen Lazard on 50-50 balls. It was not their offense.
Injury. What's the real deal with this? What kind of injury really is it?
Who, Davante Adams?
It was a mild turf toe, and it was very important to Davante's game because he uses a basketball-style footwork off the line of scrimmage. It's what makes him so unique and so unguardable, and so that's why they've held him out, because in 2015, we saw an injured, hobbled ankle on Davante, and he was terrible. And so
you guys force it to them. That's what I hope. Is because I think that
buddy, that's the
where
problem here is they learn their lesson. They
don't make the same mistake twice.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think that loss was sobering for them. So if it didn't teach them a lesson, then they're foolish, right?
Well, that's the thing.
And they're at home.
If you go back and look at what happened they lost to Philly. The big thing was, why weren't they running it inside the red zone? Aaron Rodgers had 8 straight passes, couldn't get in the end zone. And then the next week in Dallas, what'd they do? They ran the ball down Dallas's throat. Aaron Jones had 4 touchdowns. So that was a point of they don't make the same mistake twice. I expect LaFleur to come out and run the ball. I don't expect Rodgers to come out and have a 6-touchdown day like he did against Oakland. I think Jones and Williams are going to be the focal point, just like Christian McCaffrey will be for Carolina.
Tony, I'm going to give you my bold statement of the game. Devontae Adams will have over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it'll be on 5 or less catches. Because it'll be off of play action, because that will be the lesson learned. The lesson learned last week was we can't force it and change our offense to try to get it to Devontae, but we need Devontae to be a part of this game. And so what it'll be, instead of NVS releasing and having that big play, they will have packages that Devontae is the big play guy down the field coming off the play action. After they've established the run, I can guarantee you almost to a T, my gut feeling, and my gut feelings are pretty good, Tony, is Devontae has $150 and 2 tutties, but it's on 5 or less catches.
Let's put 10 on it.
Ooh, he's throwing down a bet.
You know what? If I had money to gamble away, I would definitely do that, but I don't. But you know what we can do? We can figure out some kind of cool side bet that doesn't involve money. Because if I lost money, my old lady will try to kill me.
How about this? If Devontae Adams has 2 touchdowns on less than 5 catches and 150 yards, I'm gonna give you $10. Period.
Oh my God! You stop. How about
if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, I don't care at all. I don't even care.
No, I have something for you that's not money. Jay has to change his profile avatar to a Cam Newton.
Yes!
If Devontae doesn't do it.
For a week.
Okay.
I'll totally do that.
He's gonna have Panthers followers just hitting him up, thinking he's just.
You're gonna be like, it better be Cam Newton in like one of those.
No, I'll let you pick the picture and send it to me, Tony.
I can't wait.
Oh God, off a bold prediction.
Hey,
Jay,
we can do a high five on screen here, man, as a sealer.
It was his idea, not my idea. That was his. He said,
He's got a set of cojones for even betting on a bold prediction. I never bet on a bold prediction.
Dude, Tony, I told you, we're about how and why, but we know how to have fun, dude. Like, this is about having fun. What's wrong with this? It's just having fun.
I'm having a blast.
I'm going to stray away a little bit from the game. I want to ask you on this. Green Bay, as you said, has a history of QBs with Starr, Rodgers, Favre. In Carolina, there's been a string of running backs, man, that I feel like hasn't garnered a lot of respect with Steven Davis, D'Angelo Williams. I mean, going on, and you even got CMC now. Like, it's just been this string of running backs going through, and I feel like it doesn't garner respect like a lot of other franchises get for what they have.
Yeah, man, so you forget how much you can appreciate, when you get a wealth of talent at a position, because I know there are a lot of teams. I mean, look at Detroit, who hasn't had but like 1,000-yard rusher one time, and it was Reggie Bush, who's sorry.
And then he left the next year. Like, they just let him go.
But all of that, so yeah, as we've had you get Steven Davis in the twilight of his career, but he has this great moment on the road to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We had Deshaun Foster, who was pretty damn good. If you want to get pumped,
I remember Foster.
if you listen to Rocky music, when you work out and you get that gives you the little adrenaline, you need to go Google this. Google Deshaun